Oh, now saying I'm live. Okay, that was a bit weird. StreamYard, but people, deluded. I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe, Arsenal fans. Now, I'm sure we're all waiting for Gyökeres to be officially confirmed. We've all got hope for Eze. We've got double hope for Rodrygo. We've got triple hope for Rodrygo and Eze, even though I don't think that's happening. Apparently, Liverpool have joined the race where Rodrygo's concerned. There's all sorts of rumours with Eze, including a swap deal. Gyökeres Mosquera seems to be putting the final touches on his move to Arsenal. Apparently, Noni Madueke is going to be confirmed tomorrow. So we've got a lot to discuss, man. But yeah, man, big up yourselves, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Smash the like button. Appreciate you lot being tuned in, man. Without you lot, it's dead. Karma, one love, one love, one love. And look at this guy, Marcel, without a doubt, man. Death, taxes, and the channel's favorite alcoholic chatting nonsense. But anyways, another day, another DG waffle session. Waffle settings. Get your suit ready, folks. And you know what? I commend you, man, because what is the time in America? You lot are five hours behind. Anyone that gets up to do all of this, you know what, Marcel, appreciate you, man. At least you're consistent, man. The DG Nation, the DG anthem slaps. Appreciate that, MMA superstar. You need to teach me how to do that MMA stuff, man. All my friends are starting to do that. I need to learn how to do that, elbows and flare kicks and crazy stuff. Kizzy, appreciate you. Get Eze and Rodrygo deal done, and the PL is ours. I hope so. Listen, I think even getting Eze is a madness. I think getting Rodrygo's a madness. I think both is getting a madness. For me personally, I would love Rodrygo. I think he's a superstar signing, all of that. I just think it's still difficult. But I think it's more feasible getting Eze because he's got 2 years left on his contract. Next year, I don't like, let's just assume he stays at Crystal Palace and we fast forward to the summer of next year. They're not going to get his release clause because he's going to walk for free. You could make a case of Eze actually staying at Palace. They're in Europe. His comfortability there. Obviously, you know, the World Cup to come next season. But this is like not their last chance saloon, but quote unquote, their last chance saloon to get top money for this individual. So I think there's an element from them. I actually think you can get Eze for below his release clause, or you can the same fee for his release clause, but you don't pay it all up front. But again, it has to make sense. There's no point saying you're going to give them 20 million now, 20 million in 2035, etc. Rodrygo, I think we can present him a project like everybody else, but I just think there's too much dominoes that need to fall into place. And again, for me, when we get away from what Madueke, Gyökeres, Mosquera, obviously Kepa, Norgard, Zubimendi, all of them guys have come through the door, people, right? Just based on because I've done a video today, big up you lot that have come out, yeah. But it just feels like, and I think nobody really knows what Arsenal's going to do, but it just feels like there's been a bit of a briefing from the journalists, if that makes sense, that obviously we're getting / got these signings through the door. Pre-season, you lot go and do what you need to do. There's a bit of a cooling off period, and then it feels like there's, I don't want to say sell to buy, but it feels like based on what we're reading today, that if we are going to get Eze and Rodrygo and all these guys, or one of the two, or people of the same caliber, we're actually being linked with Leao again. It feels like we need to flush some players out. So it's easier said than done, but the players that are linked with moves away, Kivior, Zinchenko, Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, indirectly Trossard or Martinelli, and even that, for all that Bayern Munich stuff that's being peddled, Ornstein's actually come out and said, I don't know if it's been accepted, but Liverpool have received a bid from Bayern Munich for Diaz, which adds fuel to the fire of them getting Rodrygo. You know what? I actually think Liverpool are going to get Isaac and Rodrygo, you know, and then it's all a wrap, if I'm honest with you. Next season is going to be competitive. I expect City and Liverpool to fight for the title. We bloody well hope so. I actually think Chelsea will be in and amongst the mix. For me, again, I don't want to do the agendas, but the footballing world needs to not let Chelsea get away with this. Fair enough, what you say about my team. We haven't got over the line. I get it. We hold our licks for that. But that team spent £1 billion. World-class Caicedo, world-class Cole Palmer, this, that, and the third. The pressure for them, man, needs to be on. If we're going to agenda, but everyone needs to get it fairly. People, there's 200 of you tuned in. Smash the like button and keep your thoughts coming. But yeah, man, do you know what? As I've said, you know, RIP Jota, because it's sad, because every time I say the name Liverpool, someone says Liverpool, there's no getting away from that. But, you know, God forbid, in an ideal world, you know, I think I speak for every human being, we wish Jota was still here. I feel when you know, obviously Jota's passed away, but, you know, just before obviously that terrible news, I think if you looked at all of Liverpool's attackers, I think only Cody Gakpo, and every player's got a price and all of that stuff, yeah, but I think only Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah are the ones on Slotty saying you can't leave. Not everyone can go, not everyone can leave. But I think where you look at, I actually feel Jota wouldn't have been the first through the door, the first to leave, RIP him, but I think they might have listened to offers for him. I think Darwin Núñez is the one that they really want to get rid of, if I'm honest with you. Diaz, they're kind of like, we'll kind of let you go because 1 minute it's Barca, then it's Bayern, then it's Saudi and all of these kind of things. So, yeah, I can understand them bringing in an attacker and more. And, you know, Harvey Elliott probably will go as well. They'll make decent dosh on that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But anyways, I just think there's a bit of outgoings to be done. And even that, like, now I'm starting to believe Eze and Rodrygo drags out. Like, I'm starting to believe that can, regardless of where they go, Arsenal, wherever, or stay at Palace or stay at Real Madrid, it feels like that one drags into the season. So are Arsenal trying to get these ones over the line, flush out 1-2 players, and then make sure we're attentive to the situation. I'll be real, if we didn't get Gyökeres through the door, and I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'd feel a lot different. Sorry, people, even though it's hot. I need to close my window. This is actually putting me off. You know, I don't even know if you can hear the wind, but that's where the negative ADHD comes into it. Like, I really struggle focusing with background noise. But yeah, that's the window closed. Let me take my seat, people. So yeah, man, that's what I feel. When is the here we go? Is it collapsing? Tranquillo, man. In Berta, we trust, man. Don't worry, man. Gyökeres is there. I think Jota would have stayed and been back up. So unfortunate. It's so flipping unfortunate. I think with Jota, you know what? Yeah, Jota obviously did well for Liverpool. It's quite poetic that, you know, they retired the number 20 owing to this tragedy. Obviously, that was their 20th league title. And number 20 was the name on the back of his shirt. Sometimes, you know, when you can just see a footballer's a right fit for a club. Like when Jota was at Wolves, everybody could see how you fit in at Liverpool. And I thought, like, he would have been more of a star, if that makes sense, at Liverpool. I think injuries kind of played this time to a degree, but RIP him. Are you getting worried about Gyökeres? Nah, man. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Now, again, hold my licks. If it goes left and for some reason it gets collapses and whatnot, then yeah, naturally, because where do we go from here? Naturally, it's going to have to be the Ollie Watkins kind of stuff, because we were vaguely every now and again linked with Hugo Ekitike. Newcastle are linked with him, adding to speculation, Isaac's going to go. Imagine both of them in the same side with the Gordons and all of that. Jota was a player, RIP, man. Hopefully, you know, he's wherever you go in the afterlife, he's somewhere watching down, and, you know, legends don't die, and legacy lives forever. And he's a hallmark of Liverpool folklore, essentially. And forget that, you know, you have to judge your life on how you impact the others. You know, he's played for his country and inspired people. I'm sure he comes from humble beginnings in a small town in Portugal, and he's gone from that to obviously the glitz and the glamour. So yeah, legends don't die, man. He's gonna live on forever. Thoughts with his family. Would you like to go on Love Island? I don't think it's my. I don't think. Nah. I play Tic Taca. That looks like direct Stoke City football, if that makes sense, man. I'm doing well, man. Junior, appreciate that. It's always what do you think of football. It's never how you doing. I appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate that. I'm good, man. It's always a blessing to be here with you lot, wherever you lot are in the world. Appreciate you lot, man. And again, this month, it's actually a good month for us because obviously, you know, we've been, and I keep saying this, but tactical videos on Madueke, on Zubamendi and Gyökeres, just bear with me, turn your notifications on, they will come out. But everything around this current season, where the football climate's concerned, is around signing. So I like the fact that, you know what, it's actually next week, isn't it? We start to watch Arsenal in pre-season, and I'm sure if you support other clubs, your team's doing what they're doing. So be nice. I still am. Only 5-a-side at the moment, my boy. Arteta needs to win this season. Otherwise, I have no doubt he'll get the sack, but we will not spend much in the next transfer window to help the new manager. We're overspending. We need to win now. Don't get it twisted. I keep saying this. Like, everything that we need to do this summer, we've kind of kicked issues up the curb, if that makes sense. Like, I would argue for the last 3 years, we've known about depth. We've known about needing a striker. We've known about a left winger, give or take. We know about all the things away from signings tactically, you know, central areas, having, you know, solutions away from low blocks, having in-game solutions when things are not working out. A lot of collective issues we've kicked up the curb in it. And I feel when Arteta and Eddie really started this rebuild, they did pattern up the wages and we did start getting in processes. But since then, we've now made it a mess again. And as much as Berta's clearly better than Eddie, clearly has an ability to pivot, clearly a tough negotiator, clearly more than anything, a competent sporting director or whatever his position is. And we all know we need a striker, we need this, we need that. We got the we're watching Arsenal under the lens of, okay, cool. When you know, for many fans, when you just get away from the emotion, we got a decent team, we got 1-2 good things about us. Why can't we get over the line? A big part of that is recruitment. But I also feel, away from obviously where Berta helps us with that and his transferable experience of what he's done at Atletico, he's obviously a footballing man, and I've called for us wanting. I think we've needed footballing men. Don't get it twisted. You could be a lawyer, a doctor. You could be any profession, but you could be a footballing man or footballing woman first, innit? That's just your profession. I feel we've had the opposite. Like we've had too much lawyers and accountants, and I know you need that and you need competencies, because as much as I hate to refer to football as a business and clubs as companies, there is an element of that. You need footballing men first and foremost, right? I think Berta's got that. But then obviously we can waffle about Berta from a footballing perspective. If we put our minds in the cronkies and we move like them, clearly they're on this self-financing thing. We have spent a lot of money. I think last season we were still under the lens of let's get 1-2 strikers and whatnot and try and kick on. There was an element of outgoings, or needing to sell, and not necessarily sell and balance books and all of that, but you get where I'm going with that, as shown with the exits essentially. I think there's an element of that this year and actually next year, because we are spending a lot by our standards. And then you look at it, depending on if they've, the system has left them, the team has left them, the Gabriel Jesus, his injuries and whatnot. Well, obviously Kai Havertz can be a squad player, but the club might look at that and say, do you know what? He might not be in the same kind of realm he's in. I think there is an element of us kind of looking after our wages and simply getting some money in. And where you look at Berta, yeah, he's done great things at Atletico Madrid and stuff in Italy and whatnot. He comes from a finance background. So the Cronkies have, got the best of both worlds. He clearly knows about how to run a business and whatnot, and he's clearly going to get decent fees. But there's also that kind of thing, and we can't have it all in it. Like assuming, well, we're doing good business now, and if we get one of Eze or Rodrygo, we'll all be laughing, won't we? But let's just assume magical stuff happens. Gyökeres, all these guys come through the door. You've got Rodrygo on big money. You've got Eze coming on something hefty. Saliba, Saka, Wanyeri, join Miles Lewis-Skelly and Gabriel Magalhaes in new deals. You've got to watch the expenditure in it, because naturally, Martinelli, if your form doesn't pick up, you might be someone that goes. Trossard this year, you might be someone that goes. Gabriel Jesus, you're probably going to leave in the next year or so. I'm exaggerating with this one a bit, but Martin Odegaard, if his form maintains like such, especially with Wanyeri's potential emergence. But I agree with the sentiment in that, it might be time to try something new. If Arteta can't get over the line, you have to try something new. But I couldn't tell you, honestly, in my heart, God forbid, but if we skip forward to the end of this season coming, and we've had the same year that we had this year, where we're second, two semi-finals, second, went out in the FA Cup. I don't know if the Cronkies are sacking you. I don't know if they're going to rip up your 15 mil a year deal, pay out you and your advisors, bring in a new manager. And I'm exaggerating, but again, the new manager should be allowed to kind of tailor the team in his image. I'm exaggerating with this, but what if the new man says, yeah, I don't want to use Declan Rice, or I don't want to, I don't know, let's just say who else we signed? We signed Gyökeres this summer. I don't want to use him now. I don't really rate his thing. I'm not saying that should be the case, but you have to give that new manager that kind of time. So I don't think so. I think as long as we get, I honestly think those above Mikel Arteta, as long as we get Champions League football, anything else you do is a bonus. So we're kind of at where we're at. How do we feel Max Dowman will be integrated into the team? You'd imagine he makes his debut this season in the League Cup and maybe in the FA Cup and the Champions League. I don't expect him to, be on the bench a couple of times. I don't expect him to be playing week in, week out and all of those kind of things. I think fans would be disappointed. I hope so, but this is a big academic year for him from an age point of view. He's 15, 16 and all of the other things. So, yeah, I just think he'll make his debut, be on the peripheral things. The pathway will be there, but I wouldn't expect a Miles Lewis-Skelly or Wanyeri season just yet. It's do or die for Arteta this coming season. I hope so. Part of getting over the line in the past, we weren't a sustained competitive side playing in the Champions League consistently. It takes a few years for the elite to be attracted. I hear that, but could we have won the league in 2022-23? Probably. Could we have won the league the year after that? Probably. Could we have put our best foot forward and won the league last year? Probably. At some point, you're going to have to look at stuff. Kai will take Muller's spot next season at Bayern Munich. I hear it. DG, why is our fan base so defeated? If he don't win, sack the manager, hasn't started. I'm not sure what you're saying there, my guy, so I can't really answer. Yes, bruv, I think Arsenal are in a good place with the players we are getting. I just feel we can come up the game should trophies with the amount of players coming in now. We've covered very key areas. Arteta's going to have to show he gets over the line. Good to see you, DG. Appreciate you. I agree the PL will be much more closer. We get Eze in, we have as much chance as anyone. And that's all I want to feel like, if I'm honest with you. That's all I want to feel like. I don't know how the season's going to pan out, and we could have the summer I want. And, in the ideal world, we have the summer I want. I don't know how I would see it what I'm about to say, because I'd have to see the season play out. But in an ideal world, we get all the recruitments in. I have faith that Arteta's evolved and we've got different ways. And I feel like we've maximized everything. If we've done that, then hopefully, you know, that's when I think luck starts to play a factor in it. I don't feel we've covered all our bases enough times. We've got just as much of a chance as anyone, but I think City are going to hit back hard. Liverpool have won the league, so and I'm sure they want to retain it. I'd imagine it's going to be competitive. It's just going to be competitive. We know this. Potentially going to be our biggest transfer window ever, depending on who we sign next. But no one's talking about the outgoings. This is where Berta comes in, man. DG, you and King Kenny are my guys. Appreciate you. Should have Kenny Ken and DJ be on the platform tomorrow, 4 p.m. 5:30. I have a panel show as well with you lot today. Get Glock 9. How much do you think we could make off sales? 20 for Trossard, 10 to 15 for Zini, 35 to 40 for Kivio. Nelson get 10-ish, so 75 should be possible. Yeah, probably in about that. It depends how good Edu, sorry, not Edu, definitely not. Berta is at hustling, and some of these guys are on big wages. You have to probably accept whatever you're given for Zini and Nelson, because you know you're not gonna. I know Nelson goes down as 100% profit, but you know you're not making any real money. You're just looking at it as that. Well, to be fair, with Zinchenko, we've seen as high as 200 grand a week, as low as 100 grand a week. Let's just say him and Nelson are on 100 grand a week. That's 200k off the wage bill. You know, you're probably looking at maybe potentially moving on Jesus, Kai Havertz, and all these guys long term. You've paid up Tommy Yasu's deal. So, yeah, throw in Fabio Vieira there. I don't really feel there's any real plays. Kivio's an interesting one because I don't want him to go, but if he says he wants to leave, then fair enough. What can you really kind of say? You should be able to get decent fees for him, especially because he's linked with a couple Premier League teams every now and again and clubs in Spain. But it seems like primarily Italian interest. Now, if I just feel the Italian clubs will come to Arsenal and say, yeah, we'll have him on loan with an option to buy. If it's not an obligation to buy, like with Tavares, I don't really want to hear it, because then what's going to happen next season? They might agree to buy him for 30, 40 million. Naturally, that's this summer. Naturally, the next summer comes now. They're going to say, I know we said 30, 40. Can we negotiate 25? Rodrygo, Hato, Eze in, Kai, Jesus, Zini, and Kivio out. We win everything. I don't think we're going for Hato, man. DG too humble. He knows he'd win Love Island. It's not my demographic, though, man. I've never applied for Love Island. You're going mad. Where are these slanders starting? RIP Jota. Jota was like a sniper. Jota was that guy that ends Tony Montana with the Aventador shades and the double barrel shorn off. Jota was... He's a player you'd want to... He was a nuisance to play against us. He was very direct. He's a player you'd love in your squad. He's just aggressive. Well, to be fair, Liverpool have had a lot of disrespectful players against my football club, man. Jota used to boy us. Firmino, probably the most disrespectful. Salah was just an absolute savage. I'm sure to this day, Rob Holding and Callum Chambers probably see Mane in their nightmares. And to be fair, one of the best goals recently I've seen against my football club, that might have actually been Mane's first goal for Liverpool, where they played us at the Emirates. It was a bloody good goal. He absolutely destroyed them. They were the Chuckle Brothers for real. Let's get this man to 70k. Deserves it. The graft is inspiring. You're far too kind, man. You're far too kind. Isak goes. Newcastle get the French brother. I don't think they're going to sell. I think if Isak's not gone, I think he goes next summer, just because I don't know if Liverpool will buy a forward. I think Barcelona are going to be involved. I think every striker under the sun next summer is going to be linked with Barcelona. I think that's an evident area of improvement. Eze is not a need. It's a luxury player. Don't get me wrong. If it's plus Rodrygo Leao, then I'd be buzzing. But Havertz can play that. Havertz can play there. Rice also. We have Marino. Ideally, sell Marino and get Eze. Respectfully, I have to disagree. I hear you on the luxury thing, in that if we were to say our strongest 11, Odegaard's going to play in the 10. You've got the people behind Odegaard. Give or take, ability is another thing there. And then the left-hand side, you clearly just want an out-and-out winger. But Eze, even if he only played off the left-hand side for Arsenal Football Club, significant upgrade. I wouldn't describe him as a luxury. If anything, Rodrygo is, because a lot of money, if I'm honest with you. And I hear what you're saying, but Eze is better than Rice in the 8. Big up Rice. He's defo better than Havertz in that 8. He's defo better than Marino. Marino's someone I'm looking at over the next 18 months as well. Decent squad player, but I just feel the club might upgrade this thing. In terms of football inside, having Rodrygo, Gyökeres, and Saka at the front will scare the hell of our rivals' defenses. Plus, the shirt and merchandise sales and sponsorship will repay the signings. You won't make any more signings. Mark my words, your transfer business is done. Ain't no bread left unless you sell players. Where did you hear that? Sorry, you might be right. You might be right, Marcel. But last time I checked, have you got Berta's number? Do you know the Cronkies? Do you know Arteta? Do you even know what's going on at your own club, let alone Arsenal? I don't think that will be the case. And we're going to rebuke that. Less of that, man. You see us Arsenal fans happy about our club signing players and you're trying to water it down. Go away, mate. Go away. Signings are landing. Big up geeks of Muckleby. Appreciate you. After this window, we only need 2 or 3 top signings to keep the squad evolving, which makes these signings more feasible. I hear you, but we just want to go and see it done. Rodrygo now and Eze in Jan for cheaper. Eze in January for the cheap. Nah, we all know the dynamics of January for anybody, if I'm honest with you. Love your content, firm but fair. That's all you can be in this life, you know. That is literally all you can be in this life, man. I like to think I try and give credit where due. When there's legitimate reasons to be angry, I'm not going to tell you to be happy. Like, when we need to be angry, we're going to need to be angry. When there's reasons to be happy, we'll be happy, and everything in between, man. So yeah, man. Eze is not better than Rice at the 8. Come on, man. Come on. He is, man. He is. I love Rice, but they're too, come on, man. As good as Rice has been there, you're not an 8 by trade. Like, and there is an element of how much can we get from there. Eze is on paper when you see in the 8. And that's why I want Eze. They can cook together. There's a whole bunch of options. For me, I know people overcomplicate this thing, but bro, even if Eze was just gonna play off the left, man. 8, 10, he can do it all, man. You see what PSG do. You see the 6 sometimes playing in the 10 and moving around, bro. Like, sometimes let's not overcomplicate this thing. Let's just be fluid, especially when you got Rice. Rice could be the 8. I promise you, with him and Zubimendi and Odegaard, Zubimendi might be the 6, Rice might be the 8. But there's common sense. Zubimendi might know Rice is deeper than me. Let me venture forward. And Rice might know, do you know what? Zubimendi's ahead of me. Let me just do the 6 stuff for now. Like, I do think we get hung up on formations, all this, that it's all interchangeable. Like, you could argue we play a 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-2, 3 at the back, all in one. And that's not just Arsenal. That is the dynamics of football at this moment in time. What's happening to Gyokeres? Just cool, man. He's going to be there. Hi from Singapore. Hope to see Gyokeres in Singapore next weekend. Leon, big up the Singaporeans. Is it? Singaporeans. And I hope you can, man. We need that. We need that. We need that. Eze to replace Odegaard. And that'll be the main thing for me. It's like, you've got Wanyeri chomping at the bit. You've got Eze. Hopefully Odegaard says, hang up, I'm the captain. No one ain't taking my spot without a fight. You've got 3 players that can play all about the place, but 3 players fighting for one spot. Give Arteta good problems. When his wife is saying, oh, you don't make time for me, all you do is, you know, to think about tactics and things, and they're lying in bed, and obviously the birds and the bees, let him say, nah, babe, sorry, we can't do that. I need to think about how I get Wanyeri in the team. Okay, I got Wanyeri and Eze in the team. How they get Odegaard? Oh, no, I can't play Odegaard because of this. Oh, Wanyeri needs to play. No, I need to play Madueke. No, Saka's there. We need these good problems. Lord knows we got a lot of problems that we bitch about. We need some good issues. And that goes all over the squad, man. Gyökeres wants the number 14 shirt at Arsenal. He said it himself. Well, once you sign for the football club, yeah. Once you sign for the football club, I wish you the best, man. Whiteboard in the bedroom. Come on, man. Being a foot manager is dark, you know. It's got to be, because when can you switch off? I always say this. The minute Arne Slot won that trophy, well, the Premier League trophy for Liverpool, obviously he lift the parade. It's all great, but the players can be in a bit of chill mode. The minute he lifts it, takes pictures, gets a kiss from his wife, drinks a bit of champagne, but you got to think about how you're doing this again and again and again and again. Like, the next day is back to business. And even that, there's more pressure now, if that makes sense. Like, being a manager is long, you know, especially when you reach that goal. Like, it's long, man. 100%, man. Eze is the man. Depth and rotations for 2025-26. Big up Australia. Whoever is peddling my content in Australia, I appreciate you, because I don't know why, but there's a lot of Aussies that are always here. Big up you lot, man. Arteta's a poor man, says Fabregas. Damn. What is the birds and the bees? I don't know, man. I just hear someone say it. If you know, you know. If Martinelli had a competent mid on his side, he'd make more runs in behind. We need an 8. We need a more traditional 8, yeah, but I'm past that now with Martinelli, man, because if I'm honest with you, I know I'm being a bit disingenuous, and it could happen. When we're talking about Wanyeri and we're talking about Miles Lewis-Skelly, 2 of the youngest in the squad, we're not sitting here and saying, oh, he needs a left back, he needs this, he needs that. Obviously, there's an element of that. Martinelli, you're a big man now, you know. You're in your mid-20s. You've been here. You're arguably one of our more experienced, quote-unquote, players if we're looking beyond ages. You're a big man now. You're experienced. You've been in the team that's fought for the league. You've been about now. You're not a little boy no more. So I don't know about any of that, really and truly. I really don't. I do wonder if we do get Eze, as much as I think he could play off the left, because, again, it'll be too narrow on that hand side. You got Miles Lewis-Skelly going walk about into midfield in the inverted role. That is Eze's game, innit? You want to see him, you know, taking people on centrally. You don't really want to see him hugging the touchline. But for all the Eze talk, he don't play for Arsenal at this moment in time, man. Of course, what Australia, I ain't been paying attention to cricket. What, Australia beat the West Indies? I just bigging up Australia. What are you lot doing? What are you lot doing? Did we get the official here we go on Gyökeres and Mosquera? I mean, Romano's been doing that. Martinelli has value, but then his game hasn't developed. I love Martinelli, man. I need a season from you, man. You know what? I need a serious season from Martinelli. Gabriel Jesus, just give me one more year, man. I think you're gone regardless, but I need to just see you and Gyökeres, like you off the left. To be fair, I've got crazy thoughts. I wouldn't say I want to see this on a consistent basis, but Jesus off the left, Gyökeres, they'll interchange. Gyökeres pulls out to that left-hand side a lot. It's going to sound very mad, people. And yes, I would love to talk about Rodrygo, Eze, Wanyeri, Odegaard, but it's going to sound mad. Jesus off that left, Gyökeres is there. Don't shoot me. But it just, I don't know, it might help us nick a win. Maybe Kai Havertz. Because I do think there's things we could do with Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. So yeah. DG, if you were on Eze's team, would you advise him to go to Bayern or Arsenal? Wrong person to ask. Arsenal, innit? Now, on a serious note, it's in the balance, innit? Like with Arsenal, obviously, you're allegedly an Arsenal fan, Premier League proven. You got all your England lads here. You've seen quote unquote firsthand because you're a Premier League footballer what we're on. But Bayern Munich. You know you're more likely to win a league title and probably a Champions League over there than here. Elise is there. Different league, different experience and all that kind of jazz. They have got a lot of players you can mix and blend with. Be interested. I'm sure you can ding your England colleague Harry Kane as well. So there's a couple English boys there. I know Elise plays for France, but Elise is there. You get where I'm going. So be interested. In terms of sporting achievements and whatnot, yeah, it makes more sense to go over there. I hope this reaches you. I've been following your career. You've been very good and humble with your knowledge and opinions, but lately I've seen a slight change. You're becoming more aggressive, more critical. Okay. I'd like to think I've maintained myself. I've never sat here and just slagging people off. If I speak with passion, I speak with passion. There's nothing I can do with that. Like everybody agrees with what you have to say until it's something they don't like. I'm always going to be I think I can. In fact, it's time to talk my shit. I'm sure everybody in this chat can back me and forget all of that. I don't need no one to back me. I can say this off my own, like my thingy. If I'm ever critical or ever praising, I'd like to think it's with evidence and with and things of that ilk. I'm not just saying things for the sake of it. If I'm going to be critical, you have to be. Anything I'm saying on this platform, you think Mikel Arteta is not critical? You think he's doing this kumbaya stuff and saying, "Oh, stop being negative because you're saying something I don't like"? Are you a dickhead? Come on now. If I'm critical, I'm critical. And respectfully, the best thing about life is you can switch off and go and look at someone else. There's so many content creators out there. If you want to listen to an hour of just negative, everything shit, blah, 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 there's man out there for you. If you want to hear the sun is shining and everything's amazing and it's sunshine and rainbows, it's out there. On this channel, we're going to speak about everything. We're going to speak about the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you want to be happy as Larry or you want to be negative, as long as you can articulate that, great. Of course, I'm going to be critical. The devil's in the details. Of course, if I wasn't critical, I wouldn't know where I think Arsenal need to improve. We're all talking about transfers. We all know we score a lot of goals from set pieces. Why would I not mention we've also conceded a lot at an alarming rate on these last 3 years? It's not because I want to mention that. Obviously, if you improve that, we get better as a team. We get better as a team. We're more likely to get 3 points and get to latter stages of competitions. What are we doing it? Football, do you know what? Football can be very nasty. It can be romantic, but at the end of the day, it's where you start and where you end. I don't know about anyone else. This comes from a place of love for Arsenal Football Club. I wish everything was amazing. Every signing we did was amazing. We won 3 trophies in the Champions League. Then I'd have nothing to say. What are we on about? What are we doing? Just to finish, you content creators have a responsibility not to breed hate towards our own players. The response from you guys and our fans on Madueke is embarrassing and disturbing. Karma is a big thing. One thing I'm going to mention is I can't be held accountable for what anybody else is saying on their platform. That's their business. I can only be held accountable myself. I have said this several times, and I'm going to say it again. I don't rate Madueke, and you can see this on my vids. I don't rate Madueke. I think it's a questionable signing. I don't see in July how that improves us. That being said, he signed for Arsenal Football Club. I'm not going to act like he's amazing, but you get a chance. And you're speaking about you have a responsibility. So why are you not mentioning when I'm saying I don't agree with the 2,000 people doing that little sneaky, what would you call it, the petition and all of that? What are we talking about? Being critical or having we live in a snowflake society. I haven't got at him as an individual person. I've backed the guy. I'm supporting the guy. I hope it works out. There's going to be critics. If I'm not just gassing it and saying it's amazing, how is that hate? Stop saying words for the sake of saying words. And again, I can't speak for any content creator or anyone that takes my opinion for gospel. But what do we always say on this platform? I don't tell you what to think, just think. if you're going to take my opinion or someone else's opinion, and just because we said it, not that we've got a leg to stand on, we're just armchair experts, and you're going to do your thing, you're a dickhead. Madueke is not going to be the first nor the last player that signs for a football club and people are not happy. Now, do I feel sorry for Madueke? And another thing I've said, if you're going to comment, I'm allowed to react, you know. If you're going to, by all means, criticize me, but I'm allowed to fight my case. What have I said in relation to Madueke? I don't condone the petition. I feel sorry for the man, because once we get away from whether you believe he's a good guy or not, he didn't put a gun to Mikel Arteta or Roberta's head to buy him, nor did he to Chelsea. He's left from Arsenal to join, Chelsea to join Arsenal. He's a 23-year-old man that just deserves support. So what are we doing here? So we can do this paragraph thing and all of that stuff. I don't know where we're going with that. Anywho, man, how can you tune into DG's live show and watch his videos to hear his opinion and then try to criticize because it doesn't align with your own opinions? This is it. And I always hold my hands up when I'm wrong, you know, like shout out the catch up, SB and Catch. Make sure you're following them. When we was doing our combined Real Madrid 11 and it weren't me, but someone was saying, right, don't get in, I held corn. It's always from a place of love, bro. I don't get nothing. You've never heard me just, I've obviously criticized players, but you've never ever heard me say you're effing this and you're that and you're the third. That's never been me. I don't get nothing out of that. That's not me, in it. Tired. There's too many soft youths. Everything is seen as criticism. Anything negative is seen as you're attacking people. That's soft. You think in football, elite sport, these managers, these coaches, these players, obviously they're not, when it goes to abuse and that, you think they're not as critical as us internally. You think that. You think these players are not harsher on themselves on top of every comment that could be said on Sky Sports and all these things? I don't know, man. But moving on. Bro, jokes aside, DG, a lot of these guys in your team ain't young players anymore and they haven't won anything yet. The players like Martinelli seems like he's been around forever. That's where man have to get over the line. Everything has been geared towards winning apart from winning. And I need my players to get a taste of that. Like, you look through our squad, couple man were here when we won the FA Cup. A lot of players have achieved stuff at other clubs, including the manager. I know he won the FA Cup, couple community shields, but the Prem, he was involved at City. Gyökeres has won a couple things in Portugal. Obviously, the Jorginhos, previously Partey, Tierney when he was here. You get the point. They've all won stuff, or some of them have won stuff and done stuff. Collectively as a bunch, even Saliba, I'm sure, and Magalhaes. Collectively as a group, you ain't won nothing. And we need to, man. Just so you can see what, you know, maybe if, like, because again, when you're in training, sometimes I'd imagine they're humans in it. You don't always feel 100%. You don't always want to do something. You don't always, I guess Arteta's the gaffer, but I'm sure when he's telling you certain things, obviously it correlates. But when he's telling you to do certain things at the time, you're questioning if this is going to work. So going through all of that, the highs, the lows, just to have a day out at Wembley or win a Premier League or win a Champions League, just to know it's been worth it. It's not been in vain. Unfortunately, the last 3 years, it's all been in vain. Whatever way we shape it, the last 3 years, we've had some highs, had some lows, had many talking points. The bottom line is we ain't won stuff, innit? It's now time to get over the line. We've got a squad. And I feel, and I'm going to die on this hill once again, because people like to tell me I'm critical of the players. Do I not always say, people, if I feel sorry for anybody connected to Arsenal Football Club, away from us fans, which I've said, some of you here, you can back me up, I feel sorry for the players because I think they deserved it. I feel the clubs sold them short in the summer, sold them short in January. I saw players I don't necessarily rate stand up to be counted. Life came very fast at an 18-year-old in Miles Lewis-Skelly. People like Marino, a centre mid that's having a tough time. You're getting slapped up front. There's hamstring injuries. People are rushing back. Martin Odegaard, our captain, fair enough, his form's on the floor, but you can't pull him out of the side. They were shortchanged. They were shortchanged. And I think we need to get this summer right, man. We are one of the only top clubs in England where we hate a player based on a transfer fee. I can't lie. I'll never understand this. Madueke's fee did not come out of your bank account. For me, at this point, it just is what it is with Madueke. We've signed him. If it don't work, people can do I told you so. You get all the praise. I'm not even onto Madueke. If anything, it's Mikel Arteta, because you bet on that. Because you know, well, I don't know internally, but you know externally what the talking points is getting over the line. I hope it turns out to be a genius signing. But right now, I don't see how Madueke is a level raiser, squad player, all of that jazz, in which, yeah, you could make out he's a squad player, but there's too much unanswered questions. There's rumors he could be the left winger, right? We haven't really seen a case study. So Arteta's bet on that. You need to make, at least for next season, it has to work. Because unfortunately, if it doesn't, it's another, Madueke adds into the mix of another attacking player, excluding Bukayo Saka, where they're not bad. They're going to go through patches of good form and not. But ultimately, under the guise of the added adjustments of winning the league, we don't know what we're going to get. As much as I think it's a squad player thing, I can't tell you he's a squad player until I obviously see the Eze's and Rodrygos walking. And even right now, is it 100% guaranteed he's playing off that left-hand side ahead of Martinelli or Trossard? I couldn't tell you. If Jesus was fit, on paper right now, if you've got Gabriel Jesus, a fit Gabriel Jesus, a Madueke, a Martinelli, and a Trossard, which one's the first choice? I'm sure all four names will provide different answers. And even on the squad player thing, I just said, I believe he could be a squad player. We've seen why you need a lot of players, etc., etc. But if I be a bit of devil's advocate, and I know managers are liars and they're going to tell players everything, and Madueke is not an idiot. If you want to play off the right-hand side or the left, you're competing with some good players. And, you know, whether he's going to stay at Chelsea or go to Arsenal, go to Liverpool, go to City, top teams have top players all fighting. He's got to have been told he's probably going to feature a lot more than us fans believe. It's a World Cup year. He's an England international. He's just won 2 trophies, one without even being there. Obviously, I think he's being told, yo, you're here to play ball, you know. So we'll have to see, man. And I actually think, I know we bought him, and I maintain everything I've just said. I know we bought him from Chelsea, and I know the stench that carries, but I don't think we stumbled into this market and we're like, yeah, Madueke is available because of what Chelsea's doing. I actually think we plan to sign Madueke on top of everything we're doing. He had to have been there. I'm sure you have your dream guy in Rodrygo. You're still chasing Nico Williams for whatever reason. Those have gone left, and you wanted to bring in Madueke. We heard we wanted to bring him in last season, but when he got that hat trick against Wolves, this is what it was said in The Athletic. Chelsea changed their stance. So yeah, man. The way our fans act entitled, we don't deserve to win nothing. Real talk, ran over. Do you know what? I'll be honest. Fans can do whatever they want. I'll be real honest with you. I do feel at times, not necessarily you, fans say that entitled stuff as a form of gaslighting. I think there's a lot of Arsenal fans like us that are humble. We know we got no divine right to win stuff and bully things every year. We've all got the ambition of that. Every fan base would want to win every game and win every trophy, but we haven't done that. You know, I'm not saying if you got a girlfriend, I'm not saying she's asking you to buy her gifts every week, but once upon a time, she might be questioning, does he really like me if you get flowers and that, if you don't get flowers? So yeah, man, it is what it is. It is what it is in that regards. Madueke is a baller. I hope he balls out, man. But unfortunately, at this moment in time in July, it's a lot of potential business, and potential is great. It has to correlate for me realizing that potential, because again, I hope it works out. The gaffer's the gaffer. You lot know more about football than me. You got coaching badges, you know, you've got analytical data and all of that kind of stuff. Like, we're just exposed to a little wee scout and YouTube and watching it on TV. These lot know all this stuff about the player, so make it work. But at this moment in time, on the 15th of July, I can't tell you. If we're just looking about getting over the line, I can't tell you what I'm going to get from Madueke. I can't tell you he's going to get double figures. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a left winger who's going to get me them kind of Saka figures or something in and around that, and a bad boy striker like Gyökeres. Because if it goes left, again, you look at our attacking unit. Obviously, Gyökeres, Saka, exceptions to the rule. I'll also add Wanyeri into that, because I think he's shown in his little things he could be a shooter. But then you throw in Gabriel Jesus, Trossard, Kai Havertz, Mikel Merino, Martinelli. Them guys, they're not bad players, but we don't know what we're going to get. We only know Saka is going to do that. There's been 3 years where some men have bagged goals, some men haven't. They've gone through patches of form, some men haven't. We need to know what we're getting, especially if you're in the latter stages of the Champions League. So we'll have to see, man. Good talking points, man. DG, coaching badges don't mean nothing. You got ex-players who played, who are pundits who don't know. It's true. But I'm just saying, like, you, man, got coaching badges. You've worked with Pep Guardiola. Arteta, I haven't agreed with every decision you've made, but we've been from back-to-back 8th or wherever it was. We're still not over the line, but we're in a different kind of realm now. So, yeah, man. You'll get pace and hard work from Madueke. I think the byproduct will be goals and assists. I mean, hard work is, I'm not going to praise anyone for hard work. You should be. You're a winger. You should have a bit of pace about you. And I hope the byproduct is goals and assists. But that's the one thing I've said with Madueke. I do think it's a bit like Martinelli in that you get in some very good areas. But when you need to pass, you don't pass. When you need to shoot, you need to shoot. And we went over this yesterday. When you're 23 years of age, this is now where you're kind of coming into your own. And that's, unfortunately, that's what's going to sum it up. Like, in an ideal world, I want Madueke to grab the left wing spot, you know, be a competent option to allow Arteta to rest Saka, be a good player in the squad. Because again, in August, it's all fun and games, in August, playing once a week. We all know, we saw last season, once it starts getting to 2 games a week, 3 games in 10 days, you need players that are going to be able, you know what you're getting from. And I'm here for it. At the end of the day, he's here, in it. He's gonna get support. Did you see KSI celebrating Gyökeres? The one thing I'd say with KSI, yeah, KSI has showed you in life, be humble. He used to mock Javinho for his hairline, and now look, you see in life, you gotta be very humble, man. My biggest concern with Madueke away from the price is if he has the mentality of coming in to take Saka's spot rather than being happy to sit on the bench, if that makes sense. And that's it. You could, I'm in London, it's comfy, I'm at a big team, but I do think Madueke thinks he's better than what he is, and I think that in a good way. Like, I think he's got a positive chip on his shoulder, so make us see that, innit? All I want is Mikel Arteta to have good problems. The Madueke signing was made with the mindset of Saka, of making Saka what? Huh? Wait, am I awake? Let's have some water as well. The Madueke signing was made with the mindset of making Saka a bench player. People will laugh, but internally that is the thought behind 50 billion spent. Madueke is here to take Saka's spot. Oh yeah? I hear that, man. Swear down. Can't agree, but I hear that. DG, what if Gyökeres fails? Our fan base give every player a chance. They have to give everyone a chance. Man said, pass to the AFTV crew. Their level of hate towards Madueke was unrelenting and unwanted. Dan Wenger, I don't know who I'm meant to pass that on to. Like, go on their channel and bring that to them, bro. I don't know what all of that is about. That is for whoever to answer. They ain't got fuck all to do with me, man. Pardon me. I just mind my own business. Like when you're doing a test in school, focus on your own paper. I don't think people understand. The reason people are mad at the fees is because we know Arsenal and that fee would affect us getting a big start we needed on the left. I hear that. DG, didn't you know, according to our fan base, Arteta doesn't want to win? I think Arteta wants to win. I just think he shoots himself in the foot. I don't think at our club, the higher powers that be really want to win. Like, I don't think they're dying to win. I think they would like to win. They'd be happy if we won. I don't think the Cronkies but obviously you've come in. But then again, you know what sort of realm you're stepping into. I don't think they're as aggressive of wanting it. I personally think the Cronkies are happy that, we're almost a shoo-in for top four. Anything else Arteta does is a bonus, if I'm honest, man. Preach, DG. Don't know why Arsenal fans are fighting each other. It's all opinions. We support the same club. They are clowning their club with rivals. And you know what? At the end of the day, if that's what people want to do, let them do their thing. And unfortunately, I actually think there's a civil war coming. I think every week next season we win. We're winning the league. We're doing this. We're doing that. When we lose, it is what it is. You're right, Royal Billionaire. You can criticize players without the abuse. I'm never going to advocate abuse for individuals because it goes too far. Like, I genuinely think you're a dickhead if you've done the petition thing. I genuinely think that there's 2,000 pricks in our fan base because where did it get you? Madueke still signing. It really is. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And that's not abuse. Going in a man's DMs, doing the most, that's wet, if I'm completely honest with you. And it's weird. And half the people doing that, they're shameless because what are they going to go and do? If they ever see Madueke, whether they think he's the best thing or the shittest player in the world, oh, hi, Madueke, can I get a picture, please? Oh, my God. Like, so it won't really go anywhere. And fundamentally, football's a fickle business. You do the business, nobody cares. I know some people have in life, unfortunately, people can't just say, yo, I was wrong, I'll hold my hands up. But I think many people would. He won't be the first or the last. You can have question marks over Arteta. I'm sure some of Arteta's, for logical fans, some people that questioned Arteta and still question him under the guise of winning a league, they say, you know what, fair enough. Not everybody rated Benjamin White and Ramsdale and Raya, and actually, well, to be fair, Saliba was rated because he came in when it was time. Gabriel Magalhaes, people weren't always with that. Declan Rice in the 8. Martin Odegaard, I know it's kind of gone full circle, people are onto him, but that first loan spell, and so on and so forth. Kai Havertz, even though I don't think it's all sunshine and rainbows, you got a bit of a tune out of him. Unfortunately, these men are not going to be the first or the last players that's criticised, essentially. It's going to happen. This is football, unfortunately. I only subscribe to DG to criticize him. STL, you're an idiot, You criticize DG if he's still on that Martinelli hype. Look, at the end of the day, Martinelli's my guy, man. Like, I think it's a squad player thing. I'm past the stage of you need X, Y, Z to do what you're doing. I am very pessimistic about if your decision making is ever going to improve because you're 24. But at the end of the day, that's my guy. DG Strange, someone accuses you of criticism yet does the same to you and criticizes you. As I always say, my guy, I'm very calm. I'm just a passionate guy. Unfortunately, I always say this, and I hope this comes across whenever I'm being critical of anything. Anytime you point a finger, there's three looking back at you. I think the world would be a better place if you point before you criticize someone else. Yeah, you ask yourself those questions or three internal questions. But unfortunately, it's easier to chat shit rather than do anything else. Stop it. Madueke is better and creative. Stop rubbishing him. We have to support him. Madueke is better than Trossard. Okay, at this point, people are not listening, man. Now, people are not getting to me, but you know, I ignore a lot. I'm allowed to fight my case, bro. Like, I'm allowed. If you're gonna tarnish me with a brush, again, I praise and critique footballers all the time, so I'm cool with it. But I'm allowed to fight my case, and I ain't going down without a fight. And no one ain't gonna tarnish me with a brush I don't think I should be tarnished with. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Stevie, big up yourself. I hope you and your family and everybody else tuned in's family's all good, man. So yeah, where is Gyokeres? Just cool, man. It's happening, man. I'll delete my YouTube channel if we don't sign Gyökeres. God, please, 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 because stranger things have happened in this life, man. Stranger things have happened in this life, man. So yeah, it is what it is. Someone said check Fabrizio Romano. If it ain't got nothing to do with Arsenal, who cares, man? I hope that's not trolling. Wouldn't surprise me, because then I say at the start of this live stream, that just Liverpool and Isaac. I don't think Liverpool's spending is stopping. Like, I don't think it stopped. And they owe Onslaught, because you gave Onslaught nonsense to work with in his first year, and he excelled in expectations. Liverpool made club-to-club approach with Newcastle to discuss a record bid for Isaac. If Isaac won't be available, Liverpool can enter Hugo Ekitike race. Fair enough, man. Fair enough, man. I said delete your channel. Yeah, forget Liverpool though, man. Like, I know I shouldn't get jealous, but yeah, man. Is what is. João Felix. We still talking about João Felix. Come on, man. Forget the João Felix thing. David Ornstein spoke about Isaac. To be fair, Liverpool's a great move for Isaac, you know. Like, you're joining the top of the top. Liverpool make approach to sign Isaac from Newcastle. Liverpool say no formal bid, plus well aware Newcastle's stance has always been not for sale, but communicate interest in a deal for 25-year-old Sweden international worth in the region of 120. Surely you take that if you're Newcastle, 120 million quid. Surely. And I guess Newcastle are difficult negotiators, but surely Isaac's got to do his part then. Like, I don't know if his head's been turned, but surely he's got to kick up a bit of a fuss. Imagine that Verts, Isaac, Salah wouldn't kill Rodrygo. To be fair, though, can I see Liverpool getting Rodrygo and Isaac? Yes and no. Newcastle won't sell Isaac. They'll keep both Isaac and Hugo Ekitike. If they don't sell Isaac this summer, I reckon he's gone next year. Stranger things have happened. Now that I said that, the individual's going to sign a new deal, but stranger things have happened. Like, Newcastle are not stupid. I don't think it's a case of, oh, they got Hugo Ekitike, so they're selling Isaac. But when they're, you know, I'm sure the plan is to play them both together, but they're not stupid. They know at some point, this is the belly of the beast. Like, bigger clubs are going to come in for Isaac. That is going to happen. It's like with Real Madrid, with Saliba. That's going to happen. So on and so forth. It's the evolution of life. Trent won I know it's a contract thing, but Trent won everything there is at Liverpool. Real Madrid come calling. It's Real Madrid, isn't it? And well, to be fair, once you reach Real Madrid, like, there's no other bigger club in it. They decide they're done with you, unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo and you go Juventus for no reason. But yeah, Tesco to Liverpool. Hey, Benjamin Sesko. Do you know what? I still think you'll get a move, but you've been linked with Liverpool. They've obviously, well, if you assume they get Isaac, we've got Gyökeres. I don't know if Chelsea will go for you because they got Liam Delap or whatever, but you might have missed that. You missed your Mac. I can't say I agree with that. I take back everything I said about Berta. He's the man. He's done the job. Never doubted him. I get Newcastle's stance. I think if they were in Europa, they probably would consider the sell quicker. It's almost like a full circle moment, because obviously Newcastle want to have a good team. You want to build a strong team. You want to build on top of the quality. You get TK, Isaac, Elanga's just come in. Obviously the Gomares is to the Tonali's, the Livramento. The list goes on. Eddie Howe's doing great things. But could that be their Coutinho moment in that? I don't know if I would say Isaac sets you back, but it does, isn't it? It sets you back, but you sell him for 120 million. That gives you more wiggle room with FFP. It might benefit the squad, if that makes sense, as crazy as that is. A bit like what Liverpool did with Coutinho. They probably didn't want to let Coutinho go. The money was crazy. It helped them keep it moving, innit? DG, fans accuse Arteta winning the FA Cup with Emirates team. So did Slot win the league with Klopp's team. Well, yeah, you'd have to say, yeah, but at the same time, boy, I don't think anybody would care if you support Liverpool. if I'm honest. Smash the like button, it helps, and it helps to push the stream in the algorithm. Shout out Karma, one of our favorite mods when she's on her best behavior. TK bid has failed. I'll always revert to the Ramsdale Raya example. Nobody saw that coming, but here we are, Raya number one and Ramsdale who exactly, and that's what the manager's paid to do. Sometimes make unpopular decisions. If it bangs, it bangs. Like I was a big fan of Ramsdale, but I hardly thought he was mad amazing. Now, admittedly, I didn't see the Raya thing coming. In hindsight, Raya was wanted before Ramsdale. It made sense, but that's what you want to see from the gaffer. It had to happen. The one thing I would say though, I think anyone knew Arteta was lying, and it's not to be disrespectful to Arteta. Come on, you're not going to have two number one keepers. And I know he said I'll sub keepers and do all of this. It's not going to happen, especially because defensively you need stability. It's not going to happen. At some point, either at the time Raya's got to accept I'm the number two, or Ramsdale's got to accept this is as good as it gets. We've seen this at Arsenal before. We've seen what Ramsdale and Raya, Ramsdale and Leno and Martinez. I feel like checking Leno. It's not at Arsenal Football Club, but Courtois and Petr Cech. Liverpool probably, ironically, we keep speaking about Liverpool. Liverpool probably going to have that of their own. I don't know how. I don't think Alisson's going to leave this summer, but they've got Alisson and they've got that Valencia guy now. Maybe it's not the same, but give or take, something's going to happen there. You can't have two number ones, and that was obviously going to be the case, even if we got that Garcia lad, if I'm honest with you. Look at you, cons. Com's been a moderator for time, man. For time. Can we talk about the size of Kai Havertz now? Huh? I genuinely reckon he scores 10 plus goals this season. I hope so, but what do you mean by size? To be fair, there was one crazy. This is not me saying it. I need to find the comment because sometimes, not you, but people go a bit too far with some of the comments. Where's the comment? I saw a comment in relation to Gyokeres. This ain't me saying this, people. Ant call 6779, yeah, commented on one of my videos. This is not me. Fire. This is not me. People always do too much. This is him or she. Big Dick Vix going to kick puppies to bag goals for Arsenal. I don't remember the last time a player was so hungry for a move. Now, I think you could have all said that without questioning the size of his manhood, but fans are crazy, man. Fans are crazy. Fans are crazy. Fans are crazy. Kai can be one, man. I just need you to score goals and assists and do what you're doing. I don't get too excited with players in preseason because everybody looks wham, everyone looks bolo and all of those kind of things, man. DG said that to get Ramsdale to sign a new contract, you got to do what you got to do. I did feel sorry for Ramsdale because, you know, Ramsdale obviously came in. You weren't really, you know, Ramsdale came in with a bit of heat as well, you know, like came in with a bit of heat, skipped the story forward a bit. You became a key player. I'm sure you was in PFA Team of the Year. You was doing your thing, bit of a fan favorite. Your dad was talking all the time. It was great. Raya's come in safe. And that just tells you Arteta's a bit of a madman like that. And you have seen that on occasions with Arteta. You got to evolve this thing, man. Yeah, we saw that with his like, DG. I heard Gyökeres deal is delayed because of the structure of the pay and add-ons. I hear it. Big up yourself for the super chat, man. Big up DG, man. Serious commitment with these shows. Always hope we bring a major in this season. I hope so, man. Appreciate your support. I've just gone away for a minute, DG. So I've just gone away for a minute and DG's talking about Havertz Johnson. What have I missed? Now, you definitely missed it. I am not talking about Havertz. Someone mentioned Gyökeres. I'm not involved. You're going mad. You're going mad. Like and subscribe. Super chats help the channel grow. Memberships help the channel grow. Frank, you're far too kind. We've even got non-Arsenal fans that are mods here, man. So yeah, big up you lot. Keep your thoughts coming. You know what? How many likes have we got? I blame you lot because I said 100 likes. We get into everything, but we got 225. So appreciative to you lot. Mental timestamp people. Always thinking, always thinking. So yeah, Liverpool have been linked to. It's been, you know what? Liverpool fan channels. There's a lot for them to talk about. Bayern Munich have bidded for Diaz, Isaac, and whatnot, but we can't care about Liverpool right now. We need to get into our own stuff. So let's start, people. Arsenal to accelerate transfer plans after Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, and Christian Mosquera join. The Gunners still have plenty of business to do in another summer of heavy spending. Arsenal will accelerate their attempts to get players out of the door as they close in on 130 million triple signing of Christian Mosquera, Noni Madueke, and Victor Gyökeres. Deals for Madueke and Mosquera are more advanced than the one for Gyökeres, but the Gunners hope to wrap up moves for all three this week. And we hope so because we're all flying off. Well, we're not all, but they're all flying off to Singapore. A 52 million package has been agreed with Chelsea for Madueke, while Mosquera's move is set to be worth 16 million. Both players are undergoing medicals this week before putting pen to paper on long-term contracts. Madueke is due a break after playing at the Club World Cup. Madueke, you gonna go for a break, or you might as well just go off with pre-season. However, Mosquera is set to be part of Arsenal's tour to Singapore and Hong Kong this month. Arsenal depart for Singapore on Saturday and want to have Gyökeres on the flight there. What's the day today? Tuesday. Come on, man. Scared done. Sporting, come on, you lost this. Talks with Sporting are at an advanced stage over a deal worth an initial 54.8 million quid with a further 8.6 million pounds in add-ons. Gyokeres has already agreed personal terms, as we know. The trio's arrival could set Arsenal back at about 130 million. When add-ons are included, the club will soon turn their attention to getting players out the door. I know we got to focus on players out through the door, but if we assume that's all done and that's 130 million, there must be a 68 million quid to just get Eze through the door. I know we need to sell, but surely we can spend 200 million and then I can understand a bit of focus. Because even that, you spend 60 million, it's still in the 100 odd million camp. Obviously, there might be a couple pennies for Rodrygo, get a couple man out the door. Let me just wake up, man, and just deal with what's in front of us. We know Lokonga's probably going to be gone. We know we took an option to extend his deal, but he could still leave. Lokonga did confirm he wants to leave in an interview, kind of like a job firing you, but you say you can't fire me because I quit. Lokonga is a myth. I want to see Lokonga go to Bayern Munich. Company, you need to show me he's the next Yaya Toure because you opened up your mouth and said that. Fabio Vieira and Reece Nelson, who were on loan last season, can leave if suitable offers arrive. Nelson has previously been of interest to Crystal Palace, which could prove useful given Arsenal's interest in Eze. We've also heard ideally Nelson would like to stay in London. Karl-Heinz been linked with a move away. He's unlikely to want to be the third choice for Arsenal. We all know we brought people in. Zinchenko is not expected to sign a new deal or even going to offer him one, people. He's got a year left. He was attracting interest in January from Borussia Dortmund. Clubs in Italy hold a long-term interest in Kivior. It remains to be seen how strong Arsenal's resolve would be if a sizable bid came in for the defender. Trossard's been linked with Fenerbahce as well as Bayern Munich, but he's also linked with signing, a new deal. He does turn 31 later this year. Arsenal's transfer spree goes into overdrive with 6 new players set to join pre-season tour. 6? Have we really got 6 players? Okay, what? Norgard, Zubimendi, Madueke, Mosquera, Gyökeres, Kepa? Or did I say Kepa? I don't know, man. But either way, get it done. So yeah, Mosquera, bring yourself. This is said we'll go over the 200 million mark with the 6 signings, funny enough. So with a bit of confusion there, I would say. Arsenal may have to sell before they can do anything else after having talks with Crystal Palace's Eze, while any move for Real Madrid's Rodrygo looks very ambitious now. But it is what it is. Mosquera is due to have his medical and apparently it's been booked. Documents are in place between the clubs. He'll sign a long-term deal later this week. So yeah, there's that in that regards. The Athletic did come out. I did cover this earlier today, but for you lot, I'll do it again, people. I did do a video on this. Arsenal on the verge of finally landing a number 9. A deal in principle is in place with Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal will pay a fixed fee of 63.5 million euros, plus 10 million euros in add-ons, in potential add-ons, better yet, for Gyökeres. Arteta was eager to sign a centre-forward in time for them to participate in the bulk of Arsenal's pre-season preparations, and that now appears feasible. Arsenal hope to close the deal in time for Gyökeres to join them when they depart for Singapore on Saturday, people. It's been a frenetic week on the transfer front. We've agreed a deal for Madueke, as we know. We're working on the Mosquera thing, as we know. We all know what we've brought in. They're not yet closed for business. However, Arsenal are still considering bringing in an additional attacking player. Their interest in the likes of Rodrygo and Eze remains, but may not develop until later in the window and could potentially be offset by securing some sales. We all know the list of players. The Karl-Heinz, Lokongas, Fabio Vieiras, Reece Nelsons, Zinchenko's are probably club players the club is actively pushing through the door. I think Kivior's not in that list. I think he would have to say, I want to go. And we know Gabriel, Martinelli and Trossard are always going to be linked with moves away, people. I did see in that same article, they mentioned something about Rodrygo, not directly to Arsenal, but in relation to Real Madrid. There are also expected to be departures. The Athletic have reported that Brazilian forward Rodrygo is for sale. We're just going to read the Rodrygo bit. Bro, come to the carpet, man. Apart from Rodrygo, there are many young Madrid players who could leave, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me about Rodrygo. Anyone want to get Dani Ceballos? Apparently, he's about to leave Real Madrid, people. Liverpool rejected a bid from Bayern Munich for Diaz. Apparently, he's made it clear he wants to leave. You know what? There's no better time than to leave on top. You just won the Premier League. I think Liverpool wouldn't mind that. You leave, more wiggle room, offset the vert spending. Is that Rodrygo, anyone else they want to bring in? But to be fair, in my opinion, Liverpool, still have two big signings, if that makes sense. Like, you'd imagine Gurhey signs for them. You would imagine at the very minimum, Isaac or Rodrygo signs for them. And they're going to get money. They're going to get like 30, 40 million on Harvey Elliott. They're going to make something decent on Diaz. I don't know for Darwin Núñez. I don't know if I really believe it, but obviously Kanai, they're trying to get him to sign a new deal. He's being linked with Real Madrid. He's got a year left on his deal. Obviously, we saw what happened with Trent. Maybe there's something there. They've obviously got money for what's that centre back they had? For the life of me, I can't remember, but he went Leverkusen. Actually can't remember his name, but either way, they're making money. And it feels like everyone's making money but us, man. We need to start getting into that kind of realm. Sammy Motbell spoke on the latte firm, big up FK and all that. In terms of Eze, Arsenal's interest is absolutely genuine. As I understand, and while there has not been, as I understand it at the moment, while there's not been I'm reading this, a formal through the door approach to Palace, I think there would be machinations behind the scenes that Palace know that Arsenal are there or thereabouts with maybe making that formal approach before then. I'm not saying it will be soon, but I think you probably need to balance the book first. So again, we keep seeing this now. It seems like maybe not. Obviously, we need to balance books. Everybody wants to, be in the green. I don't think it's necessarily a sell to buy, but we've read a couple of things now. It feels like, you know what, Arsenal got the bulk of the business done, bit of a pause, bit of a focus on outgoings. Maybe we've told Eze and Rodrygo's camp, you lot take your time. We'll be there like everybody else. I don't know, people. I'm not saying it'll be soon, but I think you probably need to balance the books first. But the Arsenal are there waiting unanimously to try and make a deal happen. So the release clause is 60, an initial 60 plus an extra 8 based on how he performs. And they're all performance-related bonuses, so 60 initially. But what I'm led to believe at the moment is that any suggestions that Palace would accept an offer lower than the release clause are false. I think at the moment, and I stress at the moment, that Palace and the powers that be at Palace will demand the full whack, the full 60 million, if they were to let him go. But there's a big part of me that wonders, because he's only got 2 years left on his contract, there's a part of me that wonders towards the end of the window whether that stance relaxes ever so slightly. So is that one that's going to drag? Let me know your thoughts. I'm not saying he'd be available for 40 million quid, because that's just not going to happen, right? But I wonder if there's an opportunity just to maybe shave a little bit off the asking price towards the end of the window. No clue what that's there. In terms of Rodrygo, Sammy Motbell said Arsenal are very interested in him. I think they've spoken to the relevant parties connected to the player to see whether he'd be up for it. I think they've got a positive feedback. As I understand that he would certainly give it serious consideration, but he give everybody serious consideration. Staying at Madrid, going PSG, going City, going Liverpool, going Arsenal. I don't quite think Saudi, but you could throw that in. Chelsea maybe as well, champions of the world now. And another club making a lot of money via sales. We need to get into that realm of, a couple of A-lenders bring us some quids. Because a couple of A-lenders, the Brook Norton Coffees, the Amari Hutchinsons, the Mika Berefs, you slap them at City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they're probably getting 20, 30 million on them. So long term, we need to start getting into that. Definitely where City and Chelsea are concerned, we probably need to do that more, because they've got bottomless pits of money. So yeah, it is what it is. But what I being absolutely frank, what I'm hearing is that the finance is attracted to the deal, not necessarily just the fee, but the fee will be hefty. I think you're looking in excess of 70 million, probably closer to 80 million to get that deal done. I think the wages he would demand, not demand. What? He would demand, not demand. He's an elite, one of the European football players, right? So he'll be commanding a big wage. Somebody needed to spell check this, but we didn't learn anything there. If you want Rodrygo or any players of that ilk, it's going to be big money, and it is what it is. So Arsenal could do it, but I think they need to be creative in how they accomplish that deal, but also make sure they've got the money coming in to ensure the books are balanced, because as we've already spoken about, they really had a significant spend. I'd probably say Eze would be the one who is more achievable. So just focus on Eze for me. Crystal Palace have an historic interest in Reece Nelson. I wouldn't be surprised to see Palace perhaps make an inquiry. Maybe they already have, just to crunch numbers and see if that's possible. Don't crunch no numbers, man. In fact, crunch numbers. How much do you lot want to pay for Nelson? Tell us. Knock that off Eze's fee in it. We'll give you that. We'll even throw in the Fabio Vieira on loan. F it. And that'd be a good move for Nelson. South London lad. Nelson's over there. Big up you lot, Palace, man. You lot bought Matt Turner off us. You bought Eddie and Ketty. You're so good, so good. Unique qualities. Again, I would really have a lot of question marks with Arteta if he was to decide to sell you lot Reece Nelson. He's the best winger we have. Please don't buy him. Please don't buy Fabio Vieira. Please. Or Zinchenko. Boy, they've been linked with Kivior as well. So whether they've got money to spend on Reece, whether they sign Reece Nelson will depend on the valuation and the price. But I think for the price, I look at Palace and I can see that as a possible destination for Reece for sure. I mean, if he wants to stay in London, there's only X amount of clubs. You're not going to go Spurs. You're not going to go Chelsea. You're not going to stay at Arsenal. You could go Palace. You could go Brentford. You could return to Fulham. That's it, innit? Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea. You could go West Ham. I've said all the London clubs, right? To be fair, Brighton and them kind of clubs and Bournemouth, it's not far from London, but there you have it. There's probably room for one more attacker in there. They're looking for maybe a left-sided attacker that we know about. I think that may be linked to 2 outgoings. Boy, we'll have to see, man, really and truly. Allegedly, Mikel Arteta sees Eze as the final piece in the jigsaw. However, Sunsport can reveal Arsenal face a major battle to sign the player in the shape of Bayern Munich, people. Romano said we remain in contact with his agent. Arsenal are hoping later in the window that Palace could soften their stance of not wanting the release clause. I hear that, but that now tells me simultaneously, go after Eze, go after Rodrygo. Make sure you've got your random Joe Blogs, because if Eze it goes left, Rodrygo goes left, we're going to be an attacking player short by that logic. So yeah, Bayern Munich are apparently joining the race. They're linked with a left winger. I know Eze can play as a 10 and all of this, but you can see where we're going. We don't need to be too smart. So allegedly we'll go head to head. He could link up with Elise over there. This article has said that, you know, there's talk of a potential swap deal, and apparently Palace like the looks of Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira and Trossard. We'll even give you 2 for 1 if that's what you're on. If I was Palace, which one would I want? Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira or Trossard? I would say Trossard, you know. Age goes against Trossard, but he's a match winner. Fabio Vieira ain't pulled down any trees. I wouldn't say no. I can't say Nelson hasn't established himself. You've been a Premier League footballer, but yeah, like, I think if you rock up at Palace, you're not a game changer. I think Trossard would be for Palace. Apparently, Mikel Arteta values both Martinelli and Trossard, but if a sale could unlock a deal for one of Arsenal's remaining targets, that could change things. As yet, there are no significant developments. Again, we need to get rid of some players, but I very much doubt us buying Eze is hinging on Martinelli or Trossard, maybe from a sporting perspective, but not from a financial perspective, having to go. Trossard will be sold to help balance the books at Arsenal. They demand 20 million. Martinelli is one of several names Bayern are considering for their left wing role, but nothing has developed further than that. They've actually bidded for Diaz. It's been rejected, apparently. So how much the Martinelli and Trossard figure in Bayern's rumors for all the, plans for all the rumors that's being said. What is this? Tab police, we're having such a good stream, man. What's this? What's this about? Arsenal's attention will soon shift to outgoings. Zinchenko, Vieira, Kivior, Nelson, all potential departures this summer. Trossard also has an uncertain future in North London and mid talks over a new deal. Another long read. Palace have looked at Kivior before, but what we need to understand about that dynamic is Dougie Freeman has left Palace now, and he's no longer a sporting director. He's obviously taken a job in Saudi. So whether that interest is as of strong now, now that he's gone, I'm not so sure. But he's certainly on the list of players that they have been interested in or have been interested in before. So I'd imagine, having done that due diligence, if they were looking at replacements for Mark Gurley and they can't get the one player they want, the one player they want is Diomande from Sporting. But my understanding of that situation is that, as I mentioned earlier, finances aren't necessarily flowing at Palace at the moment. So that's an expensive deal to do. So whether they can get that deal over the line remains to be seen. But if you can't get over the line, if they can't get that deal done for Diomande, then maybe look at Kivior for backup. You know what? You can have Reece Nelson. We'll slap you Kivior on loan. You can have Fabio Vieira free of charge. You can even have Kyle Hein. Just making sure we didn't miss anything. I understand Reece Nelson knows his time at Arsenal is up. He's open to leaving permanently this summer. Crystal Palace have historic interest. I wouldn't be surprised to see them making inquiry. Maybe they already have. Zinchenko is a player Arsenal are listening to offers for. I haven't heard they're actively trying to sell him, but European football circles in the industry knows he's a player Arsenal would consider offers for. Do Arsenal move him on, or do they say, you know what, you are some level of cover at left back, we're spending a lot, maybe we park off a hat or any of that to next summer, we just use you as an option potentially? I don't know, people. My understanding is that at Arsenal, over the next 12 months, there needs to be at least one significant outgoing to recalibrate after a busy summer of spending. So add fuel to the fire of Jesus, Odegaard, Kai Havertz, Martinelli, these kind of players, in my opinion. Trossard leaving is a situation Arsenal are not ruling out. I reported myself, they're talking over a pay rise. Then there's an acceptance at Arsenal that the current deal he's on is not reflective of his importance and output. In terms of contract talks, they're still ongoing. If he does end up staying, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed that contract and there would be a financial reward for him to stay. I don't begrudge Trossard. You probably are underpaid and, you know, you're 30, 31. You want a decent deal. Arsenal have been preparing the way for Fabio Vieira to leave since January. From what I understand, in their pre-planning for the summer window, his name was on the list of players they will look to sell. I don't think that's changed. My understanding is that Arsenal will make a formal offer for Nwaneri this week. I think the expectations is that he will sign a new contract. That's the direction of travel at the moment. There's now a willingness from all parties to meet in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if that deal doesn't get done and perhaps isn't agreed by Sunday night. I think there will be a positive and swift resolution in the coming days. Shout out Sammy Mockbell. What's this? Any suggestion Palace would accept a lower offer than Eze's release clause is false. There's a part of me that wonders whether that stance relaxes ever so slightly towards the end of the window, people. So yeah, it's going to take a lot of money to try and get Rodrygo. These are not things we're not necessarily new to, people. So yeah, I think we've gone over all of that. See, I don't try and miss anything else out for you people. Smash the like button. Big up yourself, but you're doing the Lord's work. Again, we're clearly open to selling Fabio Vieira, you know, him, Gabriel Jesus in it. It does appear, whether it's this year or next year, your days are numbered. It seems positive on the Nwaneri front. And then you've got that, people. So it'd be interesting to see. But that ends everything that's being said at the moment, people. DG, don't forget we sold Smith Rowe and Nketiah for 60 late in the window and haven't spent that money. How is Havertz on 300 grand a week? Is it 2 something? I didn't know it was 300. Can we get to 300 likes? Speaking of 300, how far are we away? 272. It's in sight, people. Come on, man. Come on. Raise the levels, boys and girls out there. Come on. Come on, DG Nation. Palace can have all 3 plus a Tesco club card for Eze. I hear it. Twitter doing Twitter things to Arsenal fans. Bayern do want Diaz. Eze not proven internationally or in Europe. That's cool. He's a baller for us, though. You can be a baller. And to be fair, a couple players at our team, they had to go prove that. Declan Rice weren't proven in Europe until he led West Ham. Saka's obviously done it against Madrid and Bayern and this one and that one. He had to do it. And I hear you, but at the end of the day, is Eze a good player? Would you give us something? If you're a baller, you're a baller. Fair enough. You might not have that, but you can play ball, bro. You can defo kick ball. Martinelli starts against United and scores. I need that. Gyokeres. If we didn't sign Noni so quickly, we could have still had a chance on Isak. Gyokeres isn't done yet. And that's the thing. Liverpool go and sign Isak. No, a lot of fans are not going to care about Gyokeres anymore. Oh, how do we get him? Pardon me. Fabrizio just reported Sporting want more money on the Gyokeres deal and could collapse. Plus, Liverpool put a bid in for Isak. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong. I hope you're not lying, but I'm going to go on his Twitter account. I still think, regardless of any rumors, we're going to get Gyokeres. I can't see anything here. So yeah. If Liverpool, well, I think Liverpool are fighting for the league anyways. If you go and get Isak, fuck, you know. Imagine being a defender. You got to deal with Isak. Then you got Salah over there. Then you've got Wirtz in the pockets. Then you still got Gravenberch and McAllister and this one and that one. I mean, he's gone now, but based on what you're seeing, if they had Trent, like Trent's getting 1 million assists, probably 40 Premier League assists, can we use Nelson as part of the deal for Eze? I believe so, but if I'm Palace, I just want my money. I just want the money, if I'm honest with you. But even that, Liverpool yesterday were linked with Mateta. I don't know what's going on there. Liverpool's smart, waiting for us to get Gyokeres, so we have no chance of getting Isak. I don't think we got 120 million to buy Isak and do all the others, rightly or wrongly. DG, we can't let them get Rodrygo. It's finished. He needs to be at the carpet. I don't think we're going to go get him. DG, we are crap at selling. I've been for years. Chamberlain is the biggest deal at 35. No pressure on Bert. We need to get better at it. We do need to get better. And we need to be a bit smart and clever, man. Like, I might be thinking years ahead, but sometimes we might just need to bring in more so young players for like a couple of million. If they progress to like Martinelli, we bought him for 6 million, right? He's obviously become a first team player. Great. But if the next one comes in and they're good, but it's not going to happen here, and you got him, I'm exaggerating, but you got him for 6 million, and you're selling him for 60. We're happy days, innit? Because you can count on one hand the amount of good sales we've had, and they're probably over recent. Like, by our standards, like, it won't be many years ago. You said Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Eddie and Nketiah last summer, probably for the fact that Fulham spent a record on him. Smith Rowe, who else is there? Probably a couple more, but you're scratching your head. Sounds like we're being tight with these add-ons for Glock 9. Just pay it however they want since the price is already good. Sporting also, I think, are a pain in the ass to deal with. I hear it, man. I hear it. I think it'll get done, man. But if it ain't done this week or significant progress this week, I'm like, what's going on, man? Pardon me. Arsenal are still haggling for Gyökeres, but Liverpool are prepared to bid 120 for Isaac after already paying something similar to Verts. It's true. We shouldn't watch what people are doing, but we haven't seen the deal. I don't think Liverpool are giving him 120 up front. And if you're Newcastle, the first thing you're going to do is, the headline, 120 million. How much money do I get and when? Because that 120 million, I'm exaggerating. They might only be saying we'll pay you 50 million now, next 20 million then. You wanna get as much as you can. So Liverpool are gonna haggle. Newcastle are gonna haggle wherever they go. We're gonna haggle. I understand the frustrations. Forget Liverpool, isolate with Arsenal, 100%. One love for the super chat, man. Ornstein Bomber, Liverpool in for Isaac. Yeah, man. Deep it. These man wanted to buy Sesko when Liverpool are trying to buy Isaac. I'm glad Berta stepped in. I knew Lokonga would fail when he moaned about playing and then Ketty had to go at him. I did as well, man. He's a bit of a moaner, man. He's a bit of a moaner, rightly or wrongly. Like, you're not made for a big club yet. I think you're a bit soft. Sporting want 10 million euros to be easily achievable. That's why we don't have a here we go yet. Just be patient. Arsenal have been linked with Liao, but every now and again we're linked with Liao. I don't know, like, how true are those links though? Like, how much do they really want it? We need to stop the narrative now. With this, everyone is gaining muscle mass. Rival fans already calling us a rugby team as it is. It's true. But that, bro, you can get your muscles, bro. You can get muscles and get wham and do all of that kind of stuff. I don't really care about that. Are you going to do the things with a football? Ramsdale did it to himself. You can't do an interview where you say you can't concentrate for 90 minutes. I do think I'm a bit disingenuous, yeah, but I look at Ramsdale's comments, like you said there, where I can't concentrate. I look at Gabriel Jesus, where he said scoring ain't my strong point. There's somebody else. Zinchenko had a similar one. Where you look at all of them, yeah, and let's start with Zinchenko, the way Lewis Skelly speaks, Ramsdale, the way Raya speaks. We ain't heard Gyokeres speak, but we went over that L'Equipe interview and the way he's talking. There's that. I actually think Ramsdale at times, like the concentration thing with Ramsdale is an issue. I think, well, the short of it is Raya's better than you, innit? Like, even if it's just a marginal game, which I don't think it is. I used to think it is, but Raya's way better than you, respectfully, Ramsdale. End of the day, Raya's better than you. Like, Raya's better than you. His concentration is better than yours. I don't think it really plays a part, but Ramsdale's dad came across as he's been a bit burnt, like the club owes you something. And I get it. He was a fan favorite. You got the one thing I liked about Ramsdale is like, he's someone you get a pint with, innit? You just know he's a Premier League footballer. But at the end of the day, this is big club business. Big up yourself, Ramsdale. He's being linked with a move away from Southampton, another relegation on the CV. That's only relevant to our football club because we must have a little percentage there. I think this might be Alisson's last season. Then by Mama Dashkivi will be the number one. The Valencia lad, probably. I just think there's too much turnover at Liverpool for Alisson to cut. If I'm Alisson, like, you've earned the right to go get paid, innit? Like, just go get paid. Go Saudi, go get paid. You've won everything at Liverpool. Go get paid. You never know. It seems like the South America man, they're always on like a little Italy or Spanish excursion, and he deserves that. I don't know why, because I shouldn't be thinking of this for a goalie, but whenever I think of Alisson, I just think of him score. What year was it? You scored for Liverpool. Like, you don't see keepers scoring too many times. And I also have to thank you, because, Reece Nelson, Lacazette, Martinelli, they love playing against you. I ain't got nothing else, Liverpool fans. You lot keep winning stuff. You don't know what you're talking about. Probably not, man. Probably not, my friend. Probably not. D said it the other day. I'll support the guy, but I don't trust him yet. Exactly. I don't think that's wrong. I don't need to lie and act like Madueke is mad rubbish. I don't need to act like he's mad good. We don't need to try and reinvent the wheel and act like this is some smart, shrewd edition. It is one where there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. You can't really see how it's a game changer, especially with what Liverpool are doing, what they've done, what City are doing / they're done, what we have done and not done. But again, you will get support. Just go and prove people wrong. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, abuse is too far, bro. But that's the thing. I would say with social media, it's too much people are too comfortable being disrespectful. With our growth under Arteta, it's fine to be frustrated that we've not got trophies. And that's something that annoys me because it's not like we're a million miles away. Like, we're flirting with it. And I think it's a fair question to ask. Why have we not got over the line? We've had a crap season with everyone knowing that we needed players in January. Of course, he's going to be critical. Tell them again. Tell them again. And the sad thing is, those that are like, oh, you're negative, you're doing all of this. Big up the Melbourne ones. All the ones, oh, you're negative, you're doing all of this. They know once they cut the crap, they know that we're speaking facts. It's just, it hurts to admit it. It hurts. You don't want to say I understand it, but you just don't want to see it. Martinelli has value, but then his game hasn't developed. It's sink or swim, man. Because I do think we're getting to that stage now where the romance with certain players, even myself, can you help us or not? You know, if Odegaard's form continues the way it is, if Gyokeres hits it off and Odegaard gets his form back, of course, Kai could be a good squad player. But again, you're on big wages. Martinelli, it's looking like the writing's on the wall. Jesus, the writing's on the wall. You don't get where I'm going with it. Football, always got to evolve. Naji, bring Eze immediately. I ain't trying to see Havertz in midfield. Neither am I, but I genuinely think you're going to see Havertz a lot in midfield. I'm on doing it in certain games, but I don't want it to be like a proper option. Just remembered we still have Lokonga. There's bare forgotten man at the football club. JB, appreciate you. Guys, let's hit the like button immediately for our brother DGM. My guy. My guy. Paul, one love. Big up DG. Love this show. You've seen the leaked blue kit. It looks awesome. The white third kit, not a huge fan. Can't wait for the new season, especially with Gyokeres. I could get. Yeah, I've seen the blue one. Looks nice. I think that is one where, you know, when you like something or you like an item of clothing, but it still has to grow on you. I disagree though. I think the third kit, I'm a big fan of it. The home kit, I like it, but I don't know if it's the best one. I actually like the white shirt still. I'm not going to lie. DG, can you imagine the team we can now put out in a league and FA Cup? And this is what I want. I want depth. Because the hamstring injuries, it was quote unquote predictable. North London forever, Steve AFC TV. Appreciate you because you're always in the comments of my videos. Big up DG. Is that my brother from another mother? Hit the likes and subscribe. This is one of the hardest working content makers. Come on, you Gunners. North London forever, Steve AFC TV. Appreciate you. And we deserve it as football fans, Arsenal fans. I don't really care about success if it's not at our club, innit? We deserve it. We deserve it. I just want to wake up. We got Eze, Rodrygo. Imagine, just what, you know what? Let me stop saying Eze and Rodrygo. Just Eze, Saka, cool, Madueke, come do your thing. Gyokeres is there. Kai Havertz and you're chipping in. Because at this moment in time, I like the business, but I would say there's only two players that excite me. Obviously, Gyokeres is not holding the shirt, but Gyokeres excites me for obvious reasons. Zubamendi, I think he's going to change our lives. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There will be times he might be overran, but everyone's going to love him. It's an Arsenal midfielder. That's a ceiling raiser, man. I mean, best of luck to Isaac at Liverpool, innit? DJ, I saw that Gyokeres' agent might call in a favour from Arsenal and sign someone he represents. Another question, what do you think the Gyokeres here we go will happen? I'm hoping in the next 48 hours. And to be fair, if Gyokeres' agent has good players on the books, I don't mind forming an alliance. But they have to be good players. I do hope we win something with this team. We've come so close and keep them together. We lost key players over years when we could have built a team around them. Van Persie, Nasri, Cess. Exactly. And the difference is, them times, rightly or wrongly, we're paying off the stadium. So as much as it was frustrating, and we all know how frustrating it was, we didn't agree with it, but we understood it. We don't have to do that anymore. Let's get over the line. I'd prefer Isaac over Gyokeres, but you get me Gyokeres. I don't really care what's going on over there because I'm just happy that we got a striker. I hope we get Gyokeres this week. DG, Fabio, Lokonga, Nelson, Zini need to be sold this window so we can get Eze and Rodrygo. Personally, I think we'd be lucky to get either one. If Madueke is actually going to be deployed on the right as Saka backup, I honestly want to see Jesus on the left as a starter. I don't think Rodrygo could do miles better than a fit Jesus. I'm trying to see Rodrygo, but Jesus off the left could be good. But we know where it is with Jesus. It's an injury thing. And that's one of the disappointments from last season. I don't think Jesus was going to pull up any trees, but just after coming back from a long-term injury, and nobody likes to see that, you're finally starting to get a bit of form and then revert back to type. Waited for the Gyokeres. Here we go to tune back into the content. Big up Arsenal for taking the first step. We need another attacker still to lift a trophy this season. My issue is at the moment is the signings we're making just seem to be replacements to or to fill spots we should have filled 3 seasons ago. I hear that. Martinelli would destroy La Liga like Anthony. Boy, we never spent for 20 under Wenger. We should be loaded if Kroenke didn't use Arsenal as his piggy bank. I hear that. Yes, Arsenal is strengthened, but the way Liverpool and City have moved / are moving this window, if Arteta doesn't evolve tactically, Arsenal won't win the title. Boy, I need a trophy. Are Chelsea bigger than us? You'd have to ask someone, man. I'm not with this dick measuring contest or my dad's bigger than yours. What I would say is I do think the owners or the way Chelsea move, I think success is demanded at Chelsea Football Club a lot more than us. Because say what you want, they do win stuff. And there's more of a consistent want to do that. I don't think our owners, well, they had Abramovich, but I don't think our owners are dying to win. Do you think we'll get Gyökeres? Yeah. I'm not saying it won't happen, but yeah, like, I want to see it today. We have too much access to rumors, transfer deets. Bring back the 2000s when we heard of signings when they arrived. Yeah, like I'm only 30, but I remember looking on teletext and the newspapers when we've actually signed someone. DJ, I haven't given up on Sesko. I hear that, but we're not gonna get both in it. People forget that our current squad is great. Adding some additional talent and players' depth will be all right. Don't forget that Isaac is fragile and gets injured too often. Yeah, well, he don't get injured that much, does he? Does he really? Madueke is our starting left winger. Hey, Arteta, make it work. Because you signed him. Make it work. I think it's unrealized potential, and I don't really like squinting my eyes and if this happens and he could do this. I kind of wanted to see attackers evidently, whether they've kicked the ball and it works or not at this moment in time. You can see how Eze raises this, Rodrygo raises this, Gyokeres raises this. Madueke, it's all imminent R-ing and whatnot. No disrespect to him. Make it work. Make it look like a genius thing, because that's what we want to see. I wish I could wave a magic brush. Madueke looks amazing. Martinelli's decision making is out of this world. Gabriel Jesus can score goals and stay fit. You know, Kai Havertz looks silky in midfield. I wish I could. Tomiyasu never gets injured, but unfortunately, that's not how life works. So let's hope we can do this thing, man. Let's hope we can do this, man. Only time will tell, man. That's the beautiful thing about it, man. Can we get to 400 likes? We got 3, 2, 1. Can we get as close as possible? But yeah, I hope we win something as well, man. But yeah, man. The white kit looks awesome in person. I ain't seen it in person. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it feels like Arsenal released the new kits in other countries, but then sometimes it's like people been on Alibaba or something. So I ain't seen it in person. We made a big mistake for spending 52 plus from Madueke when Rodrygo becomes available. I mean, if spending 50 odd million cripples your ability to get Eze or Rodrygo, then the club are going to have to hold that. Bad news for Gyökeres. Romano just confirmed the deal is still 50-50. Where is it? Admittedly, I can't see him saying that on social media. If I see him tweet that, then you get an updated video, but I can't see that. Arsenal need to sort the Academy Plus. Prices we sell for are cheap compared to other clubs. We can't even get add-ons done. I don't think it's happening, my guy. Tranquillo, man. I think we're getting Donny. DG, come on, my guy. Madueke was signed by Arteta, yet Berta signed Gyökeres. How's that work? I didn't say Berta signed Gyökeres. They both signed. Like, Arteta could have wanted Sesko. Berta could have wanted Gyökeres. But just because you wanted that, you've clearly come to some consensus that we like Sesko. He's good at this. We need to improve that. Boom, boom, boom. The same with Gyökeres. You're ready to move in either direction. I don't think Madueke we stumbled in this market, as I said earlier, and we're like, yeah, we're going to sign Madueke. I think it was, we planned to go in with this, but I don't know if Madueke was the first choice. Could have been like, oh, okay, Nico Williams is not happening. This one ain't happening. Rodrygo, small hope, we're going for him. They're both signed by the regiment here. They're both Arteta and Berta signings. I never said that. I know why you're saying that. I do think there's too much of this agenda stuff with fans. They're going to have to make it work. CFC game or go away, mate. You lot are in a league. We're dragging Chelsea into these title-winning debates, by the way. Don't think you're living like nice next season, you know. They love the attention. That's why they are dragging the signing of Gyökeres. He's looking for nibbles, man. I remember the deadline day we signed Arteta as a player. The fans were going crazy. Our expectations on the floor with no medical. We signed a bunch of those players. I swear we signed a bunch of players. Didn't we get him, Benayoun? Maybe even ironic. I'm sure Mertesacker. I might be lying. It felt like a bag of players came in. A bag of, like, come on, man. It weren't prime Benayoun. It weren't prime Arteta. And that weren't even when we got Arteta when he was, you know, becoming more of a, I don't even know the word. You're becoming less of an attacking player. Havertz better have something for us if he's going to get jacked up like that. Big up the bodybuilders, man. Just play football, bro. Arsenal have been negotiating tough deals across the board, yet when Chelsea get involved, they seem to meet every demand without hesitation. Because Chelsea know the way we like to operate, and we're their favourite client, isn't it? They're going to give us that card. Yeah, I hear you, CFC game. I hope you're wrong, but cool story, man. If Degget is that there's no point to watch next season Prem footy, I hear you. I'm still going to be watching football, though. Noni is a baller. He will help us. I hope so, but I need to see more than just words. Fabrizio said in his YouTube video that Arteta internally pushed for Madueke. So you got conviction in the player then. Make it work. Make it work. Just make it work. That's all I asked. No, DG. Romano said the deal is on YouTube like 20 minutes ago. Sporting want 10 million add-ons, easy / guaranteed. Arsenal want 5 million, easy, 5 million, hard to achieve. We'll get over the line, but we have to just, you just want to see it done now. That's cool for them, man. But then we're still going to have to be there, mate. They love the attention. That's why they're dragging the signing of Gyökeres. I very much doubt Arsenal love the attention. I'm sure if you spoke to Berta and the people on his team, he wants to get this one there dealt with. But it is what it is, man. I'm quite relaxed on the Gyökeres front. I do think we'll get him. Cool if the deal goes left. You know, it is what it is. But at this point, you just want to see it over the line. You want people to be holding shirts and everything. DJ, I remember when we signed Omri and Bergkamp, fans were complaining it took Omri ages to get there. Kenny Ken said there used to be charts calling Omri dead. Them fans that were old enough to be there, I'm sure they'll deny it now. And that's the nature of the business. Unfortunately, man. 200 mil we've spent on Chelsea rejects. Is that true? Oh, shit, wait. 50 odd on Madueke, 65 on Kai Havertz. About 10 million on Jorginho. However much the percentage of Sterling wages. Not quite 200, man. But a lot, though. Man already got the Gyökeres number 14 shirt in my collection. So what if he wants to be number 39 or something? Let's hope you get a free exchange, man. The maddest thing is, in fact, let me know. Kenny Ken was one of them with his custom banner getting onto Omri. I bet. Can't wait to have Kenny Ken on the platform tomorrow, man. Just going to mention Martinelli's name. Easy to trigger. Shout out Kenny and DJB, though, man. Love having them on the platform. Chelsea are world and European champions, so clearly ahead of Arsenal. If they don't win a Champs or Prem next season, that's a massive failure. Run the agendas. Some fans are acting like we broke the bank for Madueke. He pulled 48 plus 4 million add-ons, which I won't mind paying as it involves winning the league. I hear you. I think it's just the fact that we spent 50 on Madueke. I don't even think it's defeat. It's just I think people can't see how he evidently improves us. Arteta, you wanted him, go make it work. Same magic you worked with Raya, make it work. We can't even get the add-ons done. I don't think it's happening, my guy. Tranquillo, man. Tranquillo, man. Tranquillo. In Berta, we trust, man. He's calm. He's calm, man. We're going to get him. We're going to get Gyökeres, Glock 9. We will be doing this, Arsenal fans. He scores against United first day of the season. His first goal at the Emirates the next week against Leeds. Just be easy. We got 335 likes. You lot are ridiculous people, but been here for 90 minutes. I'm sure you lot are bored of my voice now. First things first, if you've hit the like button, you supported the content, you subscribed, you participated in the chat, all of the things, man. I appreciate you lot. Make sure you're following on socials, Deluded, Gooner, on everything. I'm back at 5:30. So yeah, man, I'll cut up the transfer news clip of this. And again, appreciate you lot, DG Nation. The road to 70k is still alive and kicking. I mean, if we're rebuilding our left-hand side, especially with Eze and Madueke, I know a left back that can give Miles Lewis Skelly a run for his money, or at least be back.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Like